Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Console Gaming League. I am Joker's Ransom. She is Megaless, and we are here for the lower bracket finals between AFMT and YAA EU. It's the PC Open tier for EU, if you didn't know, by the way.
Yes, indeed, and we have quite the matchup on our hands here. AFMT, the lower bracket scoundrels, some might say, even warlords, crushing every opponent in their way to get through the lower bracket to this final match here. YAA EU, just very recently the other day, got smacked down here in a very brutal fashion at the hands of Grillmasters. So both these teams looking for revenge, ironically, against Grillmasters, but they got to go through each other first.
Yeah, like you're saying, both of these two teams have something to worry about in Grillmasters coming in. Neither of these teams really put up a good fight. AFMT, the only one. Actually, I'll also say Gloria. It's supposed to be Gorilla, but it's spelled wrong. Gorilla Esports and AFMT have been the only ones to take a map off of Grillmasters so far. Both of these two teams looking to have some revenge for their fallen brethren in the EU PC tournament, and we'll see if that can be the case. But again, like you said, they have to go through each other, and let's take a look at these rosters that will be facing off tonight. As we have AFMT's lineup, we've got Devil and Akaza on the DPS line, Rosa manning that tank role, and then Mini and Vabendo rounding out the support line.
Yes, indeed. I think the highlight here is, if you've been around CGL, you've heard the name Akaza. This man is a menace on the Tracer, and that's putting it lightly. Can put up absolute crazy deadlifts. It's going to be a path to victory for AFMT, just relying on the pure power that can put out. But their opponents on the other side, of course, have some powerful players of their own, if we can just throw those up.
Can we?
Can we?
Push. There it is, coming online. Chronic, AME, Shoegaze, Deco, and Averting. There's a lot of tier 3, tier 2 players in the NA scene. They've had two teams, EU and NA, for purposes to play in both divisions. And I mean, I believe the EU team has done a lot better than the NA team. I mean, they are the same team, but in terms of the bracket, yeah, found themselves out in losers round 3, so they still have a chance to play in the grand finals if they can clutch it out here against AFMT.
Yes, indeed. I mean, looking to other brackets, though, as well, AFMT actually has a grand finals already locked in on the console side of this. The same exact roster. They're just kind of pulling up, right? Showing. I do believe it is tomorrow. So they already have one grand finals locked in, but to add in a second one to that resume, I mean, that's never going to look bad, right?
And I mean, well, we saw their roster. Vabendo, very well-known console player, has been around and alive in a lot of these grand finals, knows how to win a CGL playoff game. Want to make sure, because I know they've won. I just want to know how many they've won, or am I just... Yeah, they've had 2 championships for CGL so far. Looking to add maybe 2 more to that notoriety, looking to become the CGL GOAT, perhaps. We shall see.
Yes, indeed, and I believe, unless I'm mistaken, we shall be able to see on our first map here, which is already locked in to be Ilios. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was a pick by YAA EU coming down from that upper bracket, so... Going here, it's going to be interesting what sort of compositions we could pull out. If we get to Well, it'd be nice to see that Roadhog rework in effect now that it is officially live and out. But I don't know if these teams are fully prepped for it. But one thing we do know, really, is AFMT, they like a very odd comp. It's a Diva Tracer Ashe kind of thing, and they rock that until Kingdom Come.
Yeah, so... Obviously, console and competitive play, or not console, competitive and team play is a lot different. You can see a lot of value with Roadhog in, say, competitive play, but with team play, it's a lot harder to do that, especially with these meta picks that are currently being played a lot. May, Sigma, it just kind of still makes Roadhog's existence a living hell. Even a Doomfist and an Ana as well. And then Brigitte, if you're going that Doomfist composition. But like you said, they are playing against a Diva comp. So, I mean, maybe it's just probably not. It's not. There's a maybe, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little asterisk whenever we do get to WoW, but just to kind of bring it back to that meta discussion, right? A lot of teams have been favoring this Sigma composition with like a BAP Lucio. Some teams have experimented with the Iari combo with it, but not to many good results. But that's kind of been the agreed upon meta for a while now, right? Sigma just has crazy sustain, crazy ability to just exist forever on the battlefield, doing damage, creating chaos, but AFMT, like I said, they've never really opted into that style. Rose is an amazing Diva player. When you have a Tracer like Akaza on the field, it just kind of creates opportunities to almost, you know, defy the meta in and of itself here. As we are getting our first look at the teams in spawn, and as you said, Joker, YAA, they're looking to run this Doomfist comp by the look.
Yeah, and I mean, it's... So, if you have a good Doomfist player, you can run Doomfist very, very efficiently. Seen it this past weekend at the University of Kentucky LAN. I mean, obviously, Maryville has Dante on that roster, so a very proficient Doomfist, to say the least. And you can make pretty much any team have to marry you onto the Doomfist if you are good enough at it. And we'll see if YAA can do just that, with some nice plays already coming in from both of them. As Shoegaze is in the back there, not gonna find any picks just yet, as now the point's gonna unlock. AFMT are already on there. There's the dive into the back line, but gonna have to deal with onto them. Deco gonna be able to keep them up and healthy. Still, the point not being flipped quite just yet. The fight coming out. Rosa very low, gonna have to get healed up before they can go back in. And YAA very close. Who is gonna find this first pick in the fight? It's the real question right now. No one finding anything quite just yet. And there it is. Chronic gonna be the first one to go down in the fight. And now, hopefully it's going to be YAA, though. They're going to be able to get that first capture, but Shoegaze is going to fall down. Deco going to be going down as well. So AFMT are going to be able to quickly flip that back over in their way.
Yes, indeed. It was a very long, drawn-out fight, methodical from both sides, but in the end, it was Akaza on the Tracer getting that first pick, crucially needed for AFMT to be able to secure this point here. Now YAA, they're going to be pushing in here close to ultimates, but they haven't built them just yet. So if AFMT reacts quickly, they can just shut this fight down before it starts.
Yeah, well, we'll see if this could work for them. Yeah, like you said, AFMT has enough ultimates on the board to keep things going their way, and Davil finding AME is going to be huge. I mean, he's going to go down. So if YAA can push in just a little bit, there is still an opportunity for the nice pulse bomb comes through. Averting's very low. The nano boost had to be invested by Deco to keep Averting's in the fight, but still that's not going to save them for themselves. Now the rally coming online. Averting's is going to go down as well right after they pop it. Akaza on the Tracer, going to be able to keep things going in the way of AFMT.
Yes, indeed. Hero plays like that are exactly what you need. But there's a slight opening being created here, right? AFMT, they kind of burned a whole basket of ultimates there. They're close to the rally, but it's not online yet here. Meanwhile, Chronic on the other side has his overclock ready. That can deal with the Tracer in just one shot, as long as you land the shot, that is. Opens up a plethora of pick potential, and
lost by Caster. So we'll get into this fight now. Here as 90% and counting for AFMT, and they've still got Minis rally online to keep things going their way. 97, you need to get the touch if you're a YAA. They get there in the end. Shoegaze is going to be able to get the touch. AME's super low, going to have to recall to stay in this fight. Clock is going to come through, and Kronik is going to find two. They are going to go super low, going to be able to get that healing though from Deco, and the point's going to be able to flip over in their way for YAA. As now, this should be enough to keep things going their way. Rally is going to be invested though. Time going to be ticking away now with the ultimates in the favor of AFMT. This should go their way. Akaza has the pulse bomb. Can they land something here? Is YAA going to be able to live to fight another fight? As Akaza's found Kronik, there's the pulse bomb out, the stick comes through, Deco's out of the fight. Akaza on the Tracer, continuing just be this menace for AFMT. Averting is down, there it goes, the point's gonna flip over. Shoegaze is so low right now, gonna be taken down by Rosa. The overtime bar ticking away. AFMT take round number 1.
Yeah, and I'd like to say that YAA misplayed, but they really didn't. They played their composition the proper way it's supposed to be played. It's just that AFMT had such incredible peel that there really was no way for that Doomfist to engage on the back line. There was no way for anything to happen. Rosa constantly being a menace everywhere with that defense matrix, and as you saw, Akaza just putting in the work on this Tracer here. So YAA is going to have to make some sort of pivot to figure this one out.
And they are making somewhat of a pivot. We see AME going over to the Genji now to try to get some, still harass the backline, but perhaps get a little bit more damage done. But okay, they're making a full scroll swap over to that another more meta composition with the Mei and Shoegaze over to the Sigma.
Yes, indeed, and the meta is kind of what you're going to rely on here, help you sustain through these fights. It takes a little bit of the potential away from the D.Va because you can't peel for something that's not being dove upon, but now you're just relying on raw damage to come through somewhere. But that anti...
Yeah, nice anti coming in from Vibendo. Aim Ame, though, gonna take Rosa smacked out, and Rosa's gonna fall down. It's gonna be a lot harder to push into, but hey, maybe it's not. Shoegaze very low. Akaza in the back line, but YAA is gonna start things off with the control on Ruin. Shoegaze, though, still can't be too aggressive. Gonna be now finally getting that health up and looking to take down Mini here, as the point is being pressured though by someone in the back. Akaza on the point, perhaps. Yes, it was Akaza, but you're not going to be able to do too much with your lone Tracer there, but we've seen them able to do a lot. But Suge is going to find Rosa to swap over to the Sigma now to try to mirror that composition, as yeah, AFMT is going to get out.
Yeah, just call for the reset, not having to do anything crazy. And interestingly enough, AFMT, they're swapping to the Sigma mirror. We rarely ever see this from them. They like to stick to their D.Va style. I think this is them bowing, realizing that here on Ruins, you kind of have to play the Sigma style. It's interesting to see.
Yeah, it is, and while it's working for AFMT, Rosa finding Ame and Deco out of the fight already, as the point's gonna flip over to AFMT now, and that should be the fight as Vobendo and Mate get in on the kill feed.
I mean, could you just imagine the utter disrespect of AFMT? They've been running this D.Va comp the whole time, and then finally, here in that lower finals, they're like, yeah, we can play the meta just as good as any of them, and just bust out the Sigma, make it work here. As now with their point in control, it's going to be looking probably to Devil with this Bob to help them win this next fight, but Averting's on the other side has the sound barrier to help his team sustain through it.
Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be enough to keep the sustain going, as Ame finding the health healing pylon, but Avertings goes down before the fight early breaks out, with Devil's Bob doing the damage necessary for AFMT to keep the point in their favor. There's the Critic Flux though. Shoegaze is trying to fight this, but Akaza's just gonna find them out, take them out of the fight, and now this is just AFMT keeping things going only off the back of one ultimate.
Yeah, and it would almost be good for YAA, but they invested the gravitic flux in what was already a lost fight. You were down 2, you wanted to try to get a hero play to take Rosa out of it, but now, going into this next one, there's a plenty of ults for both sides to use here. It's gonna be chaotic, and you're probably looking to Akaza again with another early pulse setting up for it here.
Yeah, as Akaza looking for a pulse bomb. Rosa's going to use the gravitic flux early on the beat in response, but Rosa's found a burnings. Minnie's that's going to be huge. Minnie's Captain Sun is going to be eaten up by Shoegaze, though, and the Blizzard invested by Ame is going to find Rosa out in the end, but still, Akaza does not... they don't need the help of those ultimates. Akaza's going to be able to find the pick, but it still might not be enough. The point is going to stay in the way of AFMT for the moment. It's in overtime here. Can they clutch this out, finish it off? Rosa's made the swap over the Wrecking Ball to get back to the point. Pulse Bomb might be able to seal the deal on this map if Akaza can find something, but Rosa's going to back out there.
Yes, indeed. Just call for the reset. Don't try to make a hero play when you don't have to. You have plenty of percent still. But Akaza's still going to be found out by the Venom Mine. And so now you're going to be pushing this to final fight territory on this map. But again, the advantage is for AFMT. They have an amplification matrix for Devil to shoot through. But Rosa back over to the D.Va now.
And Ame on the Widowmaker. There is a chance to just seal the deal with a headshot onto Vivendo, if that can be the case. But no, they get the rock onto Vivendo. Shoegaze might have just solidified the round number 3. 97 and counting. Now Devil goes down. Akaza used the Pulse Bomb, gonna come through, but the Immortality Field's gonna save Chronic's life. That should be that. Overtime bar gonna tick away. It's tied up 1-1 on map number 1.
YAA comes back into that round in a phenomenal fashion, recognizing that they switched over to the Sigma. You see the pick onto the Widow, knowing that you're not going to be dove by D.Va anymore. It just gives you so much more pick potential, but also Shoegaze on the Sigma just putting in the absolute work themselves, especially in that last fight, taking Vivendo out before anything could truly happen. So now that we're heading to Well, probably going to see YAA stick with this considered meta comp with the Mei, the Sojourn, all the works. But on the other side of it, AFMT going to a very similar meta, but with the Ramatra instead of the Sigma.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. I mean, you kind of like it if you're trying to get up close and personal, which you can do with the rest of the composition. It's just... I'm not too sure about it. There's a reason Sigma's meta right now instead of Ramatra, but we'll see if it might not matter. As right now, Rosa is going to get super low. That is going to be a huge reason why not being able to use that kinetic grasp in Akaza now in the Well. As YAA are going to be able to get some control of the point for the moment, but maybe not for long. No, with Rosa falling down, there's the point flipped to YAA, and well, there's the picks all going red.
Yeah, and the issue with Ramatra is just the sustain that YAA has, right? The Baptiste and Lucio can keep everybody healthy, can disengage from those fists when they come a-flying, so you got to be able to execute extremely fast, because if you give YAA even a chance, right, they're going to build up damage with that Mei, with that Sigma, they're going to be able to keep everyone nice and healthy, and it's just not going to work out for you.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can make some changes here. Still rocking the Ramatra here. Trying to build up to the Annihilation, no doubt, to just run into the rest of the team. There's the amp. Matrix coming in from Vivendo, forcing position away from YAA, taking it away from the sight lines, and Devil's gonna be able to capitalize and find 2 picks there, now 3. Minnie's gonna take that pick away from Rosa onto Ame, but not gonna be held out of the kill feed as Rosa as the point flips over to AFMT.
And that's one advantage the Ramatra has, right? The Sigma is more of a passive threat, but Ramatra is very much a space creator. He is in your face, taking all of the attention, and it allows the opportunity for Devil to just go crazy on the Sojourn, as you saw there. Now with an overclock to his name, probably looking to solidify this one, but YAA, they're built up to 5 ults.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for AFMT to hold on to this with all those ultimates available for YAA. There they come in. There's the beat in response, trying to keep things going, but the Blizzard now coming through, and Akaza's going to fall down. This should be enough for YAA to come through and take this fight. Devil does find Avertings out, but again, that's just going to leave Sound Barrier in for another fight for YAA.
Yeah, and it looks like it's just going to be cleanup here. But Devil is still in this backline getting picks. That's another pick onto the Sojourn here. Finally, they'll be taken down. Yeah,
I'm gonna go. Gonna go down in the end.
Yeah, it's very interesting when you let a Sojourn do that here. YAA, they smartly were able to hold on to their own overclock as well as their sound barrier in order to be able to survive the annihilation that's coming at them. But first, you gotta worry about this amplification matrix.
Yeah, and Amp Matrix is just going to give space to AFMT, and they just allow the point to flip over to 76% for YAA now. But they've got to be able to come into it now. Akaza has this Blizzard online, as well as that Annihilation from Rosa. If they can just find an early pick onto one of those two, that might just solidify them into their favor. Chronic has this overclock, but well, Ame is going to go down, and now that's the go sign for the rest of AFMT to just get into the face of YAA. Now they are going to eclipse them in capture percentage.
And again, it's just the Ramatra creating such intense space. You know that Annihilation's online and you're worried about it, but you're not paying attention to Devil, who again is getting key picks on this Sojourn time and again. There needs to be some sort of answer to shut it down. YAA decides that the Sigma is not the answer here into the Ramatra, going towards the Orisa to try to maybe just break through some of that sustain that the Ramatra has.
Yeah, now with the overtime starting up, and AFMT has found Avertings out, but that's Ajax to the Blizzard. It's a huge play coming in from Shoegaze, but it's just not gonna be enough. Now with Rosa popping that Annihilation, Shoegaze goes down, the overtime bar ticking away, and AFMT take map number 1.
In an unorthodox fashion, but not even in their normal unorthodox fashion, right? The Ramatra heavily doubted as time has gone on, just kind of what his place is in Overwatch 2, finding great value there on Ilios, especially that last round, but really I think this map was the tale of two Sojourns, right? Anytime that the Sojourn was popping off, it gave their team the advantage here. I think that's a theme you're going to see continue throughout this match.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. Sojourn still a very good DPS in the game, and I mean for good reason. You have that secondary fire that can hit scan at a lot of damage when you get it up to 100%, and you have those that chip damage as well in the overclock. I mean, it's a shooting gallery at that point. But we'll see if it continues this way, if AFMT continue their winning ways, so as we head into a map number 2, which is going to be a hybrid, and those options are Blizzard World, Hollywood, Kings Row, or Numbani.
And I mean, YAA, they've seemed like they just kind of want to stick to this Sigma meta, nothing too crazy or fancy from them, so I would expect us to go towards something like a Blizzard World, potentially Numbani. I think it would be absolutely ludicrous to try to take a team that clearly wants to play rush styles like the Ramatra to Kings Row. They're going to be able to get in your face just constantly. It just kind of depends if YAA is kind of thinking in that sentiment here, but there's also just a crazy mental game. You know, you just got smacked down from lower bracket and you just lost the first map here. It's got to weigh on your mental to be able to bounce back.
Yeah, I think you're highly forgetting the one thing that everyone just picks Kings Row no matter what. Because I mean, why would you pick Numbani when you could go to Kings Row? Why pick Blizzard World when you could go to Kings Row? And I mean, I personally don't like it because I cast pretty much every hybrid game that I cast is pretty much a Kings Row game. And you know what I was discussing with people, that hybrid has kind of became the new 2CP.
Yeah.
I'll say it. It's just not it's not people's favorite map anymore, or map type anymore.
Yeah,
Kinda
I mean,
sucks.
there's
Kinda
a
bad.
lot of kind of variation to each of the hybrid maps. They're all different in the ways they have to be approached and attacked. Defenses as well are always kind of hectic depending on high ground availability. But you hit it right on the head. We do have it locked in. We are going to Kings Row here. In YAA, I mean, that's his confidence, right? To be able to lock in Kings Row, seeing that they were willing to run some Ramatra Rush. But also, if you think back to what AFMT are known for, right? The Diva, the Ashe, the Tracer can play those first point high grounds incredibly well. Constantly be raining down damage without ever really being in your face, having a chance to deal with them. You know, this is a map that just kind of is tailored to AFMT. So, YAA, you gotta have something sitting in your back pocket if you're picking this one.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Kings Row, kind of the only good hybrid map in the game. So it's just the choice of many, and everyone. Unless you have those wacky strats on other maps. But yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. You can still run this Sigma comp on Kings Row. You just got to be able to stop Ramatra before they get into your face with that Nemesis form.
Yeah, but there's also just this sort of this lethality that's coming out of AFMT now that we're super far along in this bracket, right? Because they were known almost as one trick of this Diva comp here. But we saw Rosa flexed over to the Sigma. It looked incredibly well for a few fights. We've seen the Ramatra pick come out a few times. This is no longer a one-trick pony team. They have different looks. They have different things. And when you're adding just versatility to a roster that's already insane, it just creates this extra layer of pressure.
I definitely agree with you there. Now we have the readies coming in for the teams. We will be heading into Kings Row to see if AFMT can keep their winning ways going, or are we going to see a tie-up coming in from YAA here?
Yeah, and you know, I absolutely do believe YAA, like, again, if you're going to pick Kings Row into AFMT after doing your research, playing against them, knowing what's happening, you've got to have some confidence, or you have to have something of your own cooked up, right? So I definitely would not count them out just yet. Shoegaze on that Sigma was absolutely lights out at points in the round, but we will just have to see exactly what they want to roll out on.
We will see indeed, yeah, and that's just going to be what I was expecting. YAA still sticking with the Sigma comp. And yeah, AFMT just going to be going back over to that Diva variant with Mini, however, going over to the Kiriko.
Yeah, I actually, ironically enough, watched them play this in their other bracket match yesterday, and AFMT, they gave up first point in a very odd way, but like the control they will have over these high grounds is just, it's crazy levels of pressure, right? The Diva constantly raining down damage, just tapping point as needed. Devil on Ashe here, you know, taking advantage of the fact that Sigma comp likes to be grouped up so that Dynamite just gets insane value every single time. It could be almost a perfectly engineered counter comp to the Sigma. It just depends if they can execute.
Now with we'll see if they can indeed execute. But right now, both of these two teams are vying for position, vying for this first pick. Now, forcing the objective is YAA. Now they're gonna have to met, but Shoegaze is gonna get super low. But Ame gonna find the shot onto Devil with those ice skulls, and now they're gonna look to take Vivendo out too, as Mini is gonna be able to get to them. Now the peel there as well, but Akaza is falling down, and that should be YAA taking this first point.
Yes, indeed. They take it in pretty solid fashion as well. Lots of time still in the bank, and they're going to be adding more to it, which is absolutely what you need as sort of a confidence booster. So now, as we're going to be heading to the streets phase, curving through these roads, you're going to probably be looking towards, it's going to be a hit scan sort of Wonderland, right? Someone's got to find that first pick, whether it's Chronic on Sojourn or Devil on the Ashe. That's pretty much how this next fight is going to have to go.
Well, right now, Rosa trying to force position, try to get back to at least that bookstore area to get this hold going, but a nice forward aggression coming in from YAA right now to keep them at bay, not allow AFMT to take this position that they desperately want to. But no one has built up to anything quite just yet. Vabendo's very close, as well as Deco, to these Amp Matrix. The wall's going to come out from Ame. Try to see them going. Chronic's going to find Akaza out of the fight yet again. And now that's going to be the go sign for YAA. Vabendo's going to fall down. There's the Amp Matrix from Deco as well. It's going to help them solidify the fight.
Yes, indeed, and look at how far this card's pushed up with a stagger onto the Diva as well. This could potentially be just a very quick point B cap as well. Rolling into C with over 5 minutes on the bank here, and a plethora of ults to your name as well. It's exactly the position you want to be in after that first map. You're coming in with confidence, and you're showing exactly what you can do. But there will be a touch.
Oh! What a pulse bomb coming in from Ame there, or Akaza onto Chronix. Sorry. As the Connect Grasp comes through, looking for the Blizzard here. You gotta be worried about the Hungry Hippo on the side of AFMT being the Diva. There's the Sound Mirror coming in, but the Blizzard is going to be able to find the value. They are still not able to capture the second point now with the Kitsune Rush coming in. Bob as well being invested. Overclock coming through, but it looks like maybe not. Roast is going to be demeched and taken out. Trying to take out Ame would be huge, but Chronic with the overclock's gonna find Devil as well. Akaza needs a pulse bomb to find anything, but Akaza's gonna go down as well, and YAA with 4 minutes and 35 seconds on the board.
It almost looked like there was going to be a stall hold from AFMT, but Chronic comes online with just the raw picks as well as that overclock. You're seeing the Doomfist just to kind of get back in this one, but seems like Chronic might not be done yet, already aggressively being able to hold this high ground.
And, well, Devil's going to be able to find them, though, with the shots to the dome. That just might be the force, regroup coming in from YAA right now.
Yeah, and this is sort of the respect that they're giving to their opponent, right? Not even attempting to do any crazy poke or anything, knowing the pick potential AFMT has, just making sure everybody regroups as 5, taking this fight together is going to be super, super crucial, especially as you have the only ult on the board online, which is going to be this amplification matrix.
This is now Akaza looking for, or they needed some way to get into engage into this, but Akaza not being able to find a pick, but a nice anti-nade coming in from Vivendo. He needed to be able to take Shoegaze out of the fight. Immortality Field's keeping Shoegaze alive, though. Now the Amp Matrix is going to come in from Deco. Akaza has this pulse bomb. You need to be able to find a pick on to someone. Deco gonna go low, but gonna stay alive for the moment, and Vivendo's the one to go down first. This is not looking good for AFMT. You've lost Mini now as well. There's a self-destruct from Rosa available, and it's going to be invested here, looking to find a pick, but it's only going to find the Immortality Field. Now the Grid Flux coming through. Gonna get Rosa trapped up and almost taken out of mech. They're going to be able to stay alive for the moment. There's the Bob on point, but is it going to be enough? Blizzard coming in from Ame. Kitsune Rush. Is it going to be enough damage? They haven't found anything, and Chronic just keeps finding headshot after headshot for YAA. This should just be enough for them to keep their push going, and the picks off falling red. Vivendo finds his burnings, but it's just not gonna be enough because Chronic has the overclock in their spawn. This should be over. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the board for YAA.
And that's absolutely tragic for AFMT. They invested, had to be 4 ults into that last fight, and they come up with zilch. Meanwhile, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Chronic on the Sojourn, putting on a Herculean carry right now. It's absolutely impressive. You know, the rest of YAA, they're doing their jobs, right? they're not by any means slouches having to put extra weight on Chronic, but it's giving him all the space he needs to be able to find these picks consistently. And there's just no answer for the side of AFMT. They're constantly being sent to spawn, in some cases even spawn camped. It's absolutely great to see YAA be able to shut this down so effectively.
Yeah, it's really looking good for them right now. A little shaky, but again, Control is kind of that outlier. It is so unpredictable. It is so different from the rest of the game modes that you can always just afford to lose Control. I forget which variation of the San Francisco Shock always lost on Control, but in the end they just won, right? They still won Grand Finals, or am I thinking of a different team?
That was that sounds like one of the seasons of Shock. Could not tell you which one, but it was definitely one of them here. But yeah, I mean, those are the kind of things you have to keep in mind. As you said, Control very, very different here, as AFMT now going to be walking out, and they're sticking to their guns, but they do have a slight little switch up. Devil on the Symmetra here, possibly to TP the team high ground, make sure Vorbendo's in a safe spot. And yeah, you're seeing the TP go through, and the Devil's just walking back to spawn.
Yeah, as now, yeah, they're just gonna make that swap, and Devil's gonna be able to go back over to the Ash here as Kaza in the back looking for that harassment. And hey, this play coming in already. Taking out Chronic is going to be huge for AFMT. You saw how much damage they were able to do to you in that previous round, and just going to be able to shut them down immediately. And now AFMT are going to be able to march forward and take this first point at an even quicker pace than YAA were able to.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that you have to keep in mind here, AFMT, whenever you see a Kaza do significant damage or Devil land a pretty good headshot, Rosa is always there, immediately following it up with more pressure, and that's always going to be able to either net you the pick, or at least create a situation where YAA has to dedicate all of their resources to keeping that player in the fight. And unfortunately, you can't save everyone every single time here. So now we're seeing a bit of a high ground contest go on. It'll be interesting to see how AFMT finds a pick into this choke, because it's a pretty effective chokehold.
It definitely is, especially with the characters on the side of YAA. The Pulse Bomb's going to come through. They're going to be able to get that healing throw and then keep staying alive thanks to the Immortality Field. Now the May Wall coming up. But yeah, Rosa can just get away, and that's a nice little reason why this D.Va is still working well against YAA's comp. Now with the Kitsune Rush and the Amp Matrix to boot, this should be a lot of damage coming out from AFMT. This should be the fight won in their way. They are going to be able to rotate away from the rest of that damage, but again, you've already lost 3.
Yeah, and so you just got to accept the regroup here, as long as there's not a stagger, and it seems like it was denied. The Tracer being forced to use the recall get out here. YAA, they do have a good ult advantage heading into this next fight with the Gravitic Flux as well as the Blizzard already online here, but the constant thing you got to be worried about, Rosa, with this defense matrix, could just take that Blizzard out of the fight before it even has a chance to do anything.
Yeah, now with the rotation coming back from YAA, that Blizzard is available, like you were talking about, and a nice May Wall coming in from Ame to separate that Bob away, and Shoegaze is going to take Vabendo out in the sky. The self-destruct is going to come through, and there's still an opportunity for AFMT to keep things going their way, especially after losing Verdings in that fight. The Sound Bearer no longer on the board, but now the Blizzard can get invested, and Chronic takes Devil out. That should be, no, it's not going to be enough. Chronic and Ame down and out. Now the Sound Bearer invested to try to stabilize for YAA, but you might not just be able to do that, especially since you don't have DPS at the moment. Especially, yeah, no, Shoegaze is going to go down. They get the Immortality Field for just a moment, but that's just not going to be enough. And AFMT, 4 minutes and 30-something seconds on the board for AFMT to complete point number 3.
And you're seeing the value of the targets that are getting picked off, right? If the Baptiste dies for YAA, it's pretty much over. That's all of their sustain gone, all of the healing gone. But AFMT losing Vorbendo is not the end of the world. This Kiri can keep everybody up thanks to D.Va's defense matrix, thanks to Tracer's survivability. It allows them to just constantly take these fights, even down a person.
But we'll see. Oh, Kronik's going to come in with a nice clutch pick onto Devil here. Need to be able to find more, though, because that can be changed immediately. Akaza still has this Pulse Bomb available, but losing Rosa's mech and now losing Rosa as well will put a big dampener in AFMT's attack for the moment.
Yes, indeed. It's going to send them back to spawn here. And what's most important is YAA, they were able to get that defense off without having to invest a single ultimate. So now they're going to be able to continue to build this ult bank to get ready for what's certainly going to be almost an ult war between these two teams with everything thrown out at once.
Yeah, as an AME, or Ame, sorry, find a Akaza early on in the fight is going to be huge. It's going to be more time off the board for AFMT.
Yeah, and that's all you need. The main enemy is the clock, right? AFMT, they have to be able to cap with time in the bank in order to make sure overtime rounds happen. But now the D.Va's going to get caught on guard.
Yeah, and get demeched and deleted. Shuge's taking out the baby D.Va as well. Akaza looking for a Pulse Bomb opportunity, but right now it's looking really good for YAA.
Yeah, it's looking incredible, right? They're able to constantly be able to take one pick in these fights. In AFMT, they're not trying to fight a person down because it's always a crucial key character. It's either Akaza or the D.Va, but now with the Amplification Matrix, they have the confidence to push in.
There's the Pulse Bomb coming out, and it's just going to hit that Immortality field yet again, and the follow-up just not enough to stay, keep through that, or take through that healing. Now Kronik to the overclock has found a Vendo, found Devil. They do go down in the end, but still it's YAA finding all these picks in their favor.
Yes, indeed, and they're playing this defense so well. It's so methodical. They're using exactly what they need to, no more, no less. And this cooldown management is also just insane. Always holding onto that lamp, knowing the Tracer Pulse Bomb could come in at any second. So YAA, they've set themselves up for a good potential to hold this last point.
They definitely have. 1:40 left to go. Now Kitsune Rush coming online, and Minnie's out of the fight already. Bob gonna be invested here. Get extra damage, and Shuge's is gonna come through with the pick, but it's gonna be traded back immediately. The Bob was out of the fight, but it still seems like AFMT have found the opening that they were desperately looking for.
Yes, indeed, not a minute too soon, right? If they want overtime rounds or not to have to just fight for a draw, they need to finish with some time in the bank. But that can't happen.
Gross. Chronic coming back on the Widowmaker, finding Devil, finding Akaza, just pushing back AFMT now, down to under a minute, and Minnie's gonna just reset off the map. Oh my goodness, Chronic found another one. That's gross.
It's absolutely, yeah, there's no other words for it. It's gross, and that clutch factor is what you need sometimes. Now that you're on the Widowmaker here, you're going to see AFMT actually try to be able to push into this one, varying over to the Sojourn themselves. So now the meta has almost flipped, right? It's going to be AFMT the ones rocking the meta comp. YAA slowed down slightly with the Brig and the Widow.
We'll see if it's enough to open things up. Amp Matrix has already come in from Deco. There's going to be the Grenadic Flux, but it's not going to find anyone just yet. Akaza has this Blizzard, but so does Ame, and that's going to find Mini already. The rally coming in from Verdings as well. This should be enough to hold on, but Verdings is down now with the Amp Matrix coming in from Verbendo. Is it enough? Is it enough damage to keep things going their way? They've lost Verbendo, the main source of healing, but Ame goes down as well. It's still anyone's point at the moment, but right now it's looking really good for Ya as they found Akaza out. Devil, the trades just keep coming through, but the spawn advantage is ever in the favor of Ya right now. There's the Gravitic Flux taking down Rosa. That might just be the nail in the coffin as Ame swapped over to the Bastion. The damage is going to come through and force AFMT away from the point. And that's going to be it. Tied up 1-1.
YAA after that first map, they respond in a very powerful way, making the adaptations needed, and that's something we haven't seen AFMT have to go up against, right? Instead of just forcing this meta comp or forcing something else, we've never seen teams adapt against them in ways like this, making the swaps needed to the break, to the Widowmaker, even when it's necessary, and it's certainly thrown AFMT for a loop, so now they have to try to be the ones to figure something out as we're heading into Flashpoint for the next map. It's a very interesting setup.
Yeah, we are going to head to a short little break before Flashpoint, so don't go anywhere. Get some popcorn for this, because you're not going to want to miss the conclusion of the series right after this.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
right, everyone. Welcome back. You got your popcorn like I recommended because we're in for a banger rest of the series. It's all tied up 1-1. Headed into map number 3, which is Flashpoint, which also could just be named the Saravasa game mode.
Yes, indeed, Saravasa being the map pick here, and it's a very common pick between the two maps, right? Just New Junk City. While there are some teams that favor it, Saravasa is just kind of more that old, reliable.
Give us more Flashpoint maps.
No, don't worry. We're getting a whole new game mode instead of more
Stop giving us control maps. Give us more Flashpoint maps.
Okay, so Aaron Keller has heard you, and he's decided that you're getting another control map.
Oh, of course. Another control map. You know what? We're going to make Paris, we're going to not redo Paris. We're going to make it a control map.
Horizon Lunar Colony, you thought it was going to be a Flashpoint. In reality, it's actually just
honestly
a push map.
It'd be really cool if Horizon Lunar Colony was a Flashpoint map.
Oh, you could do so. Have 1 point be anti-grav. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing. But then I talked to, actual players, and they said that would have been awful.
Yeah, well, see, we don't care about what they think. They can play in their actual tournaments like this one. We'll have fun chilling in our, bronze matches or whatever.
You know what? So I'm almost out of gold. I'm gold 1 now. After playing for the first time, actually playing and trying for the first time in probably about 2 years.
I was gonna say, I'm a false person. I kind of just pretend to be bronze. In reality, I've been diamond for 4 seasons now, and I just kind of lurk around there. But I pretend that I know the plight of the lower tier struggles. That way I can fit in with them.
It's really funny. One of my fellow co-casters is a coach for University of Buffalo, and we looked at each other's stats in tank mode, and they're masters, by the way. And so I asked him about it. I was asked, how the heck are you masters? And he was like, I got my college team to boost me. And then so he messages his college team telling him that I asked, how the heck are you masters? And then he was like, yeah, they boost me. And then they said, yep, your co-caster is very based for that. Very based.
I mean, when in doubt, just boost out, right? If the opportunity is there for you, you might as well take it if they're going to hand it to you. But I promise we're not just rambling because we're bored. There is a bit of a pause going on. Some teams
sticky hands.
Yeah, they poured some syrup on the keyboard. Kind of unlucky.
Interesting. I don't know how you get sticky. I mean, why are you eating during a match? Or something that requires you having sticky hands?
You don't ever need a mid-match refuel? You don't go into comp and eat a pancake halfway through? That's not your life?
No!
See, maybe this is why you're gold. Maybe you need the mid-map pancake and then you'll be able to ascend.
Maybe it's just because in gold, what I had yesterday that was annoying, and the only reason we tied because they lost to support midway through the game. I had a DPS Moira.
Oh, those are always fun.
Yeah. We had Moira, Lifeweaver. The Lifeweaver had 20k healing. The Moira, on the other hand, had 4k.
That sounds about right. See, DPS Moiras, those are just fun at any rank. Be able to go in and do damage, but speaking of things that are fun, look, more Sigma comp. Everyone loves this.
And a change coming in for AFMT as well. Dinks coming in and playing the Wrecking Ball. Only Dinks here is their full name, and that's what I predominantly know them as. And it's going to give them a lot more mobility, a lot more disruption, but gonna be kind of difficult to make some good value with Shuge still on the Sigma and AME, Ame on the May.
Yeah,
nice
already in.
Yeah, nice engage coming in there on to YAA. the slam, and then the follow-up coming through, but Dinks is going to be kind of low at the moment. Gonna have to regroup, get some healing into them at the moment to try to come back, and YAA is going to be able to get, no, not quite just yet, but there's the point going. Getting off for a moment is going to allow YAA to start ticking up there onto the point early on, but hey, this is still working out. Akaza and Dinks are going to be able to find Deco out, but the trade's going in the way of YAA as it's already up to 30%.
Yes, indeed. And with the switch over to the Wrecking Ball for Dinks, since Rosa is no longer in, it kind of takes away the ability to peel. So you're going to be all in with every single engage with this Wrecking Ball, which could be a good thing, but if you're not finding the picks, then it just means that you're not going to have any sustain.
Yeah, and as Shoegaze is going to get booped out of the way, but again, the healing is there from Deco, keeping their team alive for the moment. But hey, the points being forced, but Devil's going to go down to a headshot from Ame, and that's just going to be the first point going the way of YAA.
Yes, indeed. If they're going to touch, it's going to be a last-second stagger touch. Nothing really of note here. AFMT, even with a late pick on the mini here, is going to secure this point in favor of YAA. And now you kind of have to start questioning the Wrecking Ball decision here, right? If you're not getting these picks, like I said, going in with these fast engages, then what exactly are you looking for?
Yeah, and unfortunately, the points decided to go in the favor of YAA as well, but a nice slam and avertings is going to go down to a kunai headshot from Vibendo. That's going to be the opening that they were desperately looking for. Dinks able to get that slam in, and now they have this numbers advantage, but we're seeing a swap coming over. Avertings is going to go over to the Brigitte, but hey, it is going to be AFMT coming out on top of this first one.
Yeah, and like following up on those slams is going to be the path to victory. This time it was Verbendo with a kunai headshot being the one to get the ball rolling, so to speak. But that's got to be something you constantly find, right? Giving YAA any sort of purchase anywhere is going to give them a chance to just take the point out from under your feet. And they're going to be able to do it with this plethora of ults they've built up here. Probably looking at the Gravitic Flux onto a solo target because of how AFMT is split.
I mean, it's going to be a lot harder to get value like you were talking about with these ultimates now, with the minefield coming out and a nice pulse bomb coming in from Akaza. That is going to be the point and done in the favor of AFMT yet again. And they only had to invest those two ultimates.
Lived through the flux. You didn't have be online in order to live through it that way. So now the ult economy is a little bit more manageable. Both teams having an overclock ready. Ame is going to be looking to get in with this Blizzard. But again, it looks like both teams are actually willing to give this up and try to take a fight and a spawn.
Oh, and that's going to be huge as well. I was thinking, what would happen if it went to Ruins instead of, Palace or the Gardens. I think that's what it's called, the other one that they were all going to. But again, in the end, it went to Ruins, and now AFMT have the positional advantage.
I mean, they have just a phenomenal positional advantage. As you said, you've got the core of the team on point. They're able to use this Kitsune Rush early, and it just completely zones YAA into the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, as Dinks is looking for that shot onto Corona, getting them away from those healers. Can they get that pick? The flashpoint is going to be unlocked, and now the flashpoint should go the way of AFMT, as they, interestingly enough, are going to be taking this small corner, which not many people will do, but they can do so with the way that AFMT kind of have to attack this. The overclock's going to come in from Devil, but Akaza's going to go down early on, and the point's going to flip over to YAA, and they did, however, have to use 3 ultimates to do it.
Yes, indeed, and you're almost kind of willing to trade that if you're AFMT, only investing the overclock into that fight. So now Akaza is going to have another potential pulse bomb here. Not before a stagger, interestingly, onto Vorbendo. I don't know if that's a stagger, if they were just trying to re-engage too quick for a fight. But this is going to just build more percentage for YAA as AFMT waiting for their Kiriko.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to get back pretty quickly. The point is gonna be forced out though, trying to force that position away from YAA right now. They have this pulse bomb available, and the point's gonna flip before they get the touch there. Now they've got the wrecking ball for the engagement. The minefield is gonna be able to be used to stop for really being able to touch for the moment. It's up to 60% though, so you can't really lose this fight if you're AFMT. There's the minefield coming out onto the point, and into the mines goes Ame for the moment. Gonna be able to stay alive, but goes down to Akaza in the end, and the Sound Beer are gonna keep everyone up and healthy. The overclock does come in from Chronic. It's gonna find Dinks, but that's just all they're gonna find. Up to 73%. You're gonna probably try to catch this investment, but maybe not. You might not have the time to.
Yeah, YAA now making some wholesale switches over to the Torbjorn instead of the Mei, realizing how split AFMT is, just not finding the value there, but that turret is going to be finding the value you hope for it to, as now we are heading, I believe, over to Garden. Yep, it is going to be Garden here. And for the first time, YAA should be able to get better positioning as long as they're not caught out here.
Yeah, as Akaza has this pulse bomb available, and gonna be looking to just take down Ame early on. The turret no longer a threat. There's the pulse bomb coming out, and it's gonna find a Verdings, and that was a huge play coming in from Dinks. Dinks is gonna pay for it with their life, but you'll take that trade all day, every day, because you can get back so quickly. As Verdings is going to make that swap over to the Lucio to get back as quickly as they possibly can. But it looks like YAA is going to be able to take this first point.
And that was so crucial from Dinks, but it just sucks that you had to pay for it with your life, right? There's kind of this back and forth going on with the Pulse Bomb and the Lamp here, but the Flux being in already.
Yeah, and no, Devil is going to be able to live through it. The healing was there, and Shoegaze now goes down. They still have the chance to keep things going for YAA if they can find this pick, but Ame is super low, going to go down, and that should be the point. Yeah, and the point is flipped and now counting for AFMT.
And AFMT, they not only have the point, they have the ults to back it up. They should be able to snowball several fights in their favor with it. YAA making more swaps here, going over to a Junker Queen, back to the Mei. I appreciate going back to the Mei, but what are you going to run down? I mean, the side of AFMT, they're all playing split. They're playing everywhere.
There's the minefield coming in. You're gonna look to get a Jagged Blade onto Dinks and then be able to force them down. But the overclock coming in. No, Devil's gonna go down though. This is still AFMT have an opportunity, especially if Akaza can land the pulse bomb or take out some support in the back. The Sound Beer coming in at the perfect time. There's the pulse bomb out, but not gonna find anyone. Deco still alive, running for their life, and Vivendo gonna go down to that secondary fire from Chronic, as it's already building up to this last fight territory. The point is gonna flip over though.
Yeah, and just the damage that YAA has was able to kind of break them in here and give them another chance on Garden instead of just getting shut out 3-1 on Flashpoint. But now it's about sustaining this advantage you have. You have the overclock, you have the window, use them in tandem as long as it's at the right time, and you should be able to net this point for yourself.
Yeah, you got the upper hand, obviously, and while finding Akaza is just going to be a huge pick as well. You might just give it up if you are AFMT. Try your luck on point number 5.
Yes, indeed, and it looks like that's going to be the case here, unless we see a Wrecking Ball roll in at the 12th hour, but it doesn't. Oh, we actually do.
Point is going to get touched, and now they are still going to invest this. The Sound Beer is going to come in here. The slam coming in. Shugaze very low. The healing is going to come through. You cannot get off if you are AFMT, especially after investing in this. Shoegaze is so low. Mini's going to be able to take them out. The overclock, the blizzard coming online. And you know what? You'll take that even if you lose it. All the ultimates that YAA had available are gone into that fight to keep things going into a round flashpoint number 5.
Yeah, and as you said, you're willing to take that every single time. YAA had so many ultimates built up there. The fact they had to expend almost everything that was in their bank in order to really secure that point down. AFMT now going to have the minefield just to kind of place wherever it's really needed. Akaza once again with a pulse bomb online. That could just be a crucial pick in and of itself as long as it's found onto a target.
Well, the flashpoint is going to lock in the next 10 seconds. And Averting has this sound barrier available to perhaps engage onto. Ame gonna try to, or gonna go down kind of low, but now the commanding shout coming out. Minefield's gonna be there. Vivendo's gonna go down early on. The point is gonna go in the way of AFMT for the moment, but Kronik's very low and gonna go down to Mini. There's still the trades coming in. It's still an opportunity for AFMT to keep the hold going in their favor. There's like Kaza in the back is, Vertig's trying to wall ride to safety. The Kaza's able to find that pick. The point is gonna go towards YAA's way, but it's not gonna be possible with the picks going all blue.
Yeah, and it's absolutely crazy, right? Akaza holds on to these pulse bombs until they're absolutely necessary, and it creates such a mind game for anybody on the side of YAA. Deco's looking to hold lamp as long as humanly possible. Once the cooldown's forced, you're constantly looking, constantly in danger, and you're so worried about the pulse bomb, you forget about the raw damage from the Tracer, but ooh, this lurk.
Yeah, this might be the end here for YAA on Flashpoint, unless there's a nice play coming in from Shoegaze with this Rampage coming online. Shoegaze forcing the positioning. Akaza has this pulse bomb. It's going to come out onto Shoegaze. There's the immortality field coming through to keep your Junker Queen in the fight. Sound barrier coming through. Rampage is out, but it's just going to get cleansed up. The sound barrier there as well. AME is going to go, Ame is going to go down. Shoegaze as well. That's going to be it. Kronik going to find Mini, but that's just a consolation pick for YAA as AFMT take the map.
They take the map, put themselves to series point here. YAA, I mean, I like the pivot over to this rush composition, but with the Wrecking Ball, everything that was going there for AFMT, you were almost kind of just chasing something you could never catch, right? They were so split up, so unbelievably, diverse with how they wanted to engage on you, that YAA, you made these, you did the proper rush techniques, but unfortunately it didn't net you what you were looking for here. So now heading into push, it is do or die for YAA. I mean, you gotta win or it's lights out.
Yeah, again, this is for the chance to go to the grand finals for a revenge match against Grill Masters, but right now AFMT are on match point. This is, again, loser's bracket, so YAA does not have a chance to come back to on if they were to lose this series. It is headed to push now.
It's headed to push, and you have all of the push maps available to you. Coliseo, New Queen Street, or Esperanza, and honest to goodness, I don't know where you want to go, right? There's been this odd little flexibility coming out from AFMT. When Rosa's in, they can play a few different things, and now they've just thrown a complete Wrecking Ball wrench into the plan here. So if you want to go back to your tried and true, you want to play that Sigma comp and try to play that out to give yourselves the advantage, I imagine the pick would be Coliseo, but it really is only time that will tell when they pick.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where you'd want to go. I mean, if you're trying to stay together as a team and not allow those flankers, Coliseo is probably the best option, especially if you're taking those fights in that corridor. Again, get rid of the glass, Blizzard. It's just, come on.
Remove the glass.
Remove the glass. Honest to goodness, it'd make the map, make Coliseo a lot more fun. I mean, it would. And, well, look at that. Coliseo is going to be the map choice.
Yeah, as you said, this kind of shuts down the flankers in the best way that it can. But then again, I mean, it's not a guarantee of shutting down. Like, there still has to be some conscious effort put in from the side of YAA into making sure Akaza's not doing all this crazy damage. Devil's not getting free dynamites everywhere that you look, as well as on the Sojourn. Devil was absolutely showing up. It's just going to be a matter of can they make the Sigma comp work here?
Mm-hmm.
And also for the side of AFMT, you know, are we going to see Dink stay in for that Wrecking Ball? Are we going to see Rosa potentially come back to try to counter that Sig with more Ramatra Rush?
Yeah. Yeah, they could still come out of the Ramatra Rush like you were talking about. Sigma's still an opportunity. Well, I mean, we'll see if they keep Dinks in. I wouldn't expect it. Not with a closed-in map like Coliseo. But until we get that for certain, it's going to be a little bit confusing. And Dinks is still in. I know Dinks can play more than just a Wrecking Ball, but the Wrecking Ball is what they're kind of known for.
I mean, to play a Wrecking Ball on Coliseo, that is the definition of a Gambit right there, right? Like, you have to have extreme confidence in your Wrecking Ball player, and while Dinks is really good, it's just a matter of the map itself. It doesn't really lend you to be able to do the things that you want to do, being able to fly around along the rooftops and things of that nature. But at least in the spawn, right? At least in the spawns, we're hovering some interesting comps. I refuse to believe YAA is running out on the Roadhog Hanzo, but I mean, to be fair, a lot of people have been saying this new Roadhog rework, this is a ball counter. It can shut down Wrecking Ball in ways you'd never see. But yeah, no, Shoegaze is just trolling. We are going to see the Hanzo pick, but it will be back to the Sigma here. And AFMT are choosing the Wrecking Ball, so... Although there is a little bit of a swap. Mini is on Ana, whereas Vorbendo's on the Kiriko. That's normally swapped around.
Yeah, it normally is. We'll see how it works. Vabendo was playing the Kiriko a lot. Pretty nice. See how it works for them, but I'm still interested to see how the Wrecking Ball works for this AFMT squad, as well as Chronix on the Hanzo.
I mean, this is just, instead of needing any sort of help or anything, just raw pick potential as long as you can find the picks, right? But nice little pick onto Akaza is going to mean that the bot is pushing for YAA. Already got a little bit of meterage under their belt here, and nobody's really seen Dink so far.
Yeah, they do find that pick on Akaza, but now the picks are going to come in from AFMT in the response from AFMT is going to be able to stop this point progress that they were looking to make. A nice anti-nade does come through from Mini as well, as AFMT are going to be able to keep put the bot back into their favor.
Yeah, and it's very interesting that instead of taking some sort of center fight of what YAA wants to do, right? AFMT, they set up their own fight. They set up exactly where they wanted to. And so now it's just a matter of setting up these fights once again.
As currently my feed is kind of...
well, yeah, I was going to say, so is mine.
Okay, now it's kind of back, still very blocky, but I do see Dinks going in for picks with the Wrecking Ball. That's the real thing now. Okay, there we go. Now I can see everything clearly. There's the minefield coming in response, and Dinks is gonna find Chronic as are they gonna be able to find? Oh, they are. Ame just walks into the Wrecking Ball, or the mines, trying to run away from Dinks on the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, and that's just an absolute I would say tragedy, but it's just a bit of a confusion. As Dinks, surprisingly, you know, considering the map, I had some doubts. This Wrecking Ball is creating a lot of space, doing a lot.
Devil is going to go down. The Grinovic Flux invested by Shoegaze. Still looking for the opening as the Pulse Bomb's going to come through, and Deco's Immortality Field no longer there because of it. Though, however, still not enough to really get control of this point quite just yet, but finding Vabendo out, unless you lose Deco there, no, that should be enough. Oh, okay, yeah, Akaza's just going to be keeping that cart, or the bot, not moving quite just yet, but finally YAA is going to be able to get some progress here.
I just had a nightmare flashback to yesterday when AFMT played this map. Akaza got a crazy back cap with the Tracer to be able to force forward spawns, and it gave AFMT such an amazing lead here. But we are actually seeing a pause come through called from Akaza, so we will have to see what that is all about on the tech side. But interesting little Interesting little fight that we're gonna have set up here. Plenty of ults for both sides, and it's just gonna be a matter of who can get the better position.
Fix my headset now. My cat's paw got stuck in my wire. I need a wireless headset. But yeah, right now, it's kind of back and forth. Obviously, no one's really gotten into a groove quite just yet, and the paw's actually very quickly going back, but no one's getting into a favor of the point quite just yet as Chronic goes super low. A nice anti-nade, though, comes in from Mini there. Now the Sound Barrier invested. Kitsune Rush in response, and the Nano Boost coming in onto Devil, getting that extra damage onto Bob as well. As Devil? Okay. I was very confused for a second there, but hey, in the end, AFMT quickly take the point back.
Yeah, so what was invested there actually, Ame's Blizzard froze Devil at the complete edge of it, was what was holding it back, but the damage was done long before that freeze came through here. So now, while YAA was able to make it really, really close, it's now going to be more point progress for the side of AFMT here, as we're seeing Dink set up again for another potentially devastating minefield.
Yeah, they definitely are. As a nice, okay, not going to be able to get Shoegaze off the side that you were desperately looking for, but you're very close to these forward spawns. Okay, gonna be able to get a nice boop, and Dinks is gonna have to use their his adaptive shields to stay alive. The roll through coming through, and there is finally gonna get Shoegaze off the side of the map. Now the follow-up can be there. You're gonna have to invest a lot to keep them alive for the moment, as Chronic's gonna find Mini now with the overclock being popped, but it's gonna be traded back immediately. Ame's out of the fight already. Dinks is gonna go off the side of the map, and that should be a pause coming in. I don't think there was a need for a pause.
I was gonna say it was Dinks disconnecting was about to be my guess. Seeing Dinks go off the map, there's a lovely little setting that makes it so you automatically pause when there's a disconnect, and it just hadn't caught up. So Dinks has lagged out of the map, and we'll have to just take a second to figure that out. But I mean, yeah, that fight going in favor of YAA, and they look to be able to kind of continue pushing the bot and potentially get that lead back.
Yeah, I'm interested because I don't remember if I don't remember if Dinks had Minefield on or not. That'll be kind of interesting with the disconnect. I don't believe you keep your ultimate percentage. That's not in our lobby code, I believe. So that could change the entire outcome of this later this map here.
Yeah, definitely. It will be an interesting factor to see, as we are already back in. Wow, that was a fast little reconnect here. And yeah, the ult charge completely reset for Dinks. That means the minefield, whether it was or was not obtained. But Akaza getting a nice little pick on the tracer.
Yeah, Akaza finding avertings out early on now. Looking for some more picks coming in. Just YAA is gonna just back up for the time being.
Yeah, and this is just a smart thing, right? Disengage, take this fight in center where you're definitely going to be more comfortable as you're waiting for the Wrecking Ball to roll in, probably onto your backline here. Probably looking to Shoegaze to find something with this Gravitic Flux, but again, AFMT, they're playing super split. It's going to be hard to narrow something down.
Yeah, they are going to be getting into the backline, though. Still going to find these this damage out. Nice boops coming in. Shoegaze is going to be using their Gravitic Flux. It is going to find Devil out. Still, though, there is picks going to be able to come in the way of AFMT, but you're lost Mini now as well. Kaza has this Pulse Bomb available if necessary, but you've lost Mini as well. You're going to try to stall out for as long as you can to get those respawns back. There's the Pulse Bomb out. Shoegaze is very low. Going to have to use that Kinetic Grasp to stay alive. Still, Amp Matrix is going to be there. Minefields is going to come through. You got to stay alive if you are Dinks at the moment. And you bought more time, allowed your respawns to come back, and you haven't given up the percentage percentage in their way, and a nice ante helps finish off Shoegaze. They are going to get that trade back, though. Devil's going to go down, but in the meanwhile, Akaza's just finding cart progress as they're trying to get back, and they're going to be going into a nano-boosted Wrecking Ball. The damage is just going to be done for AFMT and keeping the bot going in their favor.
Yes, indeed, and this could potentially be AFMT unlocking forward spawns here, which would not necessarily put the nail in the coffin, but it might as well be being able to respawn that quickly with a composition that already moves very fast. It's gonna be very difficult, and yeah, that's the forward spawn.
Forward spawn's coming through, and now the Kitsune Rush coming through, but Devil's gonna get blown up by a secondary shot coming in from Chronic, and Chronic's going to be able to come back and not have to use this overclock to clean house and clean up the fight.
Yeah, it is super nice to be able to do that just off the raw Sojourn damage, and that's absolutely what the side of YAA needed, right? You couldn't have them gain any more forward progress than that. Already having to unlock forward spawns for yourself is going to be a tall task, but just a few meters beyond that is going to be that golden box of victory now. And it's just going to be very interesting as we're taking another corridor fight.
Yeah, Ame having the Blizzard available as well. Might just look to use it when, Dinks slams down. The minefields have come through, but it's just not going to find anyone. And the Pulse Bomb's going to find Deco out. The Immortality Field was not. And now this is just going to be AFMT wrapping it up, it seems, with Ame going down, trying to take Avertings out, and they do indeed, as that is going to be that in the way of the fight going the way of AFMT.
Pick on Devore Bendo there could be crucial, as the forward spawn did not get reactivated, so it could mean that the Kiriko does get the back spawn, but unfortunately the bot pushed up in enough time here. YAA, some of these ultimates they've been hanging on to for a second. They've got to find some value, some purchase with them, because every meter lost now is just more and more that you're going to have to claw your way back.
It is only about 40 meters, though, so you're still liking your chances if you are YAA. But it's down to a minute on the clock. It's now or really never. This tournament lives are on the lines. This last minute is going to determine it. And finding Dinks already is huge for YAA. And Akaza goes down as well. The respawns, though, and they're not going to be getting those forward respawns.
Yes, indeed. That means that they're going to have to wait for the Wrecking Ball, their Tracer here, and this is what YAA needs, right? And they cannot even afford to lose this last fight, because if AFMT stalls it out enough... Oh my gosh, the Flux!
Flux gonna come through, and Devil's gonna get taken down. You cannot afford a trade, but Akaza findings Avertings, who is so close to the sound barrier to allow more sustain on the point for YAA. They are gonna be able to get them back, but Chronic's so low. The anti-nade coming in from Mini, and now the nano boost coming onto Dink. The minefield in this corridor. It's just gonna be so hard to get back into this, and Deco's down. This might just be it, as there's the kinetic grass coming through. Ame's gonna go down. This is all but over here as the picks come in for AFMT, and the overtime bar ticks away. The series goes for console. AFMT takes the map.
AFMT booking their second grand finals. They earned it in the other bracket, and they earned it here. And they did it off of an insane lower bracket run, taking down not one, not two, but 5 opponents, counting YAA. I mean, just absolutely impressive on a variety of different comps here, as you're seeing the Wrecking Ball, something that's doubted a lot in modern day, but Dinks really making it work.
Yeah, Dinks was looking really good for AFMT. Again, Wrecking Ball, especially on Coliseo, was not supposed to work, but AFMT come out, clutch it up, and take the map in the series in a 3-1 fashion, and now booking their revenge against Grill Masters in the grand finals.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, gonna be a phenomenal grand finals to watch. All respect to YAA. Third place, I mean, you gotta hold your head high. Not a lot of teams can get to that point. But AFMT, they just were on another level today with these wacky little compositions, these adaptations, and they're really ready to show their stuff in that grand finals when it comes around.
Could be happening any time this weekend. We're obviously trying to get those done before Thanksgiving next Thursday. But that's going to be it for us for now. We're trying to have another stream later tonight. If a producer will pick it up, that will be the matchup between Short Bus and Strawberry. But for now, that is going to be it for CGL. Thank you all for watching. It's been me, Joker's Ransom, her, Mega Last. Huge shout out to our production staff, Sonic, Little Joe, and Zeusor. Make sure to check out Zeusor's Tally Light. But other than that, thank you all for watching, and wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah. 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 Memories.